That would help, eh?
And you've got your sound on?
I really don't know. You'll have to check.
Oh, right, because it's only going to come through.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's right. We did have that button, didn't we?
We did, but I'm sure that you're probably right. It'll be hooked up to.
So you have to have that screen on this and that screen.
No.
So what are your thoughts?
That reaches. It is now running live. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and they said that they would amend the sound features agreement to 5%.
Is that on off? Or is that just straight?
Yeah, just leave it there. Alright, I'll put it up here.
Go for it.
I have a microphone if you want.
Testing 1, 2. Hey, well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your patience this morning. Of course, important decisions being made, and naturally a bit of time is required in doing so. Folks, my name is Ryan Stephen. On behalf of our team here at Bailey's Real Estate, I do welcome you along to today's proceedings as we assist you along the road towards new home ownership. Assisting me in the room today, of course, we've got Rebecca at the rear of the room there. She's going to be ensuring that the technology, the photography and the numbers are all displayed nice and clearly for you. So Rebecca will be assisting us with that. Raymond Barnes here as well will catch any of those tricky questions that you might have. He's our local sales manager. If you've got any questions at all during the proceedings, feel free to raise your hand and Ray will come over and talk with you. And of course, Di Scott, the wonderful Di Scott, who you may well have been working with over the past few weeks. Di, I know you've made auction documents available to our buyers here today. Buyers, within that auction document, you will have found a copy of the certificate of title. And at some stage throughout the proceedings, you may well have also been given a best practice guide for auction, which we've got available in the room here as well if you want to see those again. Now, it'll come as no surprise to you to know that the property being sold today will be subject to a reserve price. And subject to that reserve price being met, if you are the highest bidder, you'll be the new owner of the home. After which stage, of course, we get you to sign your name on the document, and a 10% deposit would be payable immediately thereafter, unless you've come to other arrangements with our vendors by way of variation. Now, I'll elect a sum by which bidding can be increased today, and I refuse any bids that I don't believe to be within the best interests of our owners. If a dispute arises, we very simply determine that dispute, or we return to the last undisputed bid and we can move forwards from there. Our owners do hold the explicit right to withdraw their property at any stage throughout the proceedings, and they can do so without disclosing what the reserve price is. Now, if you're here spending money on somebody else's behalf, well, you're in a very fortunate position to be doing so, but I do require you to be filling in some information. I'm not aware of anyone that's bidding on anyone else's behalf today, so I'll assume that all bids made in the room today are on one's own account. Now, the vendors have elected me and only me to make bids on their behalf. This is what's referred to as a vendor bid. It'll be very, very clearly identified with the words vendor bid if I choose to exercise that right, and of course it would only ever happen below the reserve price. Finally, by bidding today, you are letting us know that you've received a copy of the contract, a copy of the New Zealand Residential Property Sale and Purchase Agreements Guide, which we've got available in here in the room as well, and of course that you're eligible to purchase properties in New Zealand under the overseas investment rules and in accordance with those. Well, buyers, of course, that's the code of conduct for our auction today, and it takes us along to the beautiful 44 Port Albert Road up there in Wellsford, being one fee simple estate, a freehold property of some 991 square metres, being lot number 13 on deposited plan 41192 with a record of title 1328 folio 6 of the North Auckland Registry. That is how the good folks at the Auckland Council would refer to it as, but the postman, of course, calls it just that 44 Port Albert Road. Chattels are as per the documents that you would have seen, and they remain unchanged. Vacant possession is what we have on offer today for a settlement date on the 6th of August 2020. Buyers, I know that Di's being diligent about making sure all the documentation, the LIM report as well, has been made available to you. Of course, all bidding today is going to be made under full acknowledgement of the information provided within those documents. Well, here it is for the first time in a beautiful Well, there it is in all of its glory and standing the test of time there. I know that there are a number of you that will have been already making plans for that beautiful Art Deco concrete feature out the back, the old concrete water tank that was. No doubt there'll be a spa pool or a paddling pool in there sometime very soon. One certainly gets that feeling of privacy in that backyard. They're perfect for kiddos to go and make mischief. The privacy there due to some very well placed natives. Buyers, my one suggestion before we get started today is it's been 40 years since this property has come to the market. If you do have interest in the property, now's the time to make that interest known. For all we know, it may well be another 40 years before we see this one come back to the marketplace. Buyers, I've done the talking up until this point and it's your opportunity to do so. We look for an opening bid, an opening offer. Who would like to start me away with something fair and something reasonable? Call me out a figure. And everyone wants to look everywhere in the room, but at the auctioneer at this point in time. Call me out at 430,000 here, and we look for a 70 rise to 500. Who would like to own it for that? Buyers, kick me away. Quickly now, 430,000 we have here. 70,000 is what we chase down. Once now at 430. Twice at 430,000 New Zealand dollars. Third and final call. Where do we go? 70,000 to 500 is what we're chasing down. Or you hesitate, I will not. I'll take us forward on a vendor bid to 500,000. Now the bid rise from there is what we need. Of course, it's not just between me and this gentleman. We call any other bidders that have interest in the property. Quickly now, 500 sits with me once then at 500. Twice. Third and final call, 500 sits with me. Whereabouts would you like to go? Is there a figure you'd like to call out instead? Do we call in another 30,000 on top of that? Do we call it 530? Can I say that on your 500,000 sits with me. North of there is where we're going. Well, buyers, you're surprising me. I'm going to take it purely as strategy at this point. I won't take it personally. What I am going to do, Sue, you've expressed interest in the property. I'm going to come and have a discussion with you, see if we can get you to own the property. Buyers, if you do have interest in the property and you want to make that interest known, have a discussion with Di while very much for your patience once again. What I can tell you is that we left the floor with a bid at 500,000. The bid remains there at a vendor bid at 500,000, and I know there's several people in the room desperately hoping that the property doesn't sell here at auction, as perhaps they've got conditional interest. And we open up the floor very shortly to those parties with perhaps conditional interest. But of course, under the auction umbrella, I'll continue to allow any buyers that are in a cash position to show their interest. Now's your opportunity to do so. 500,000 vendor bid sits with me, and we open it up once again, looking for a 50,000 bid north of there to 550. Then we'll be in the running quickly now. Once then at 500,000, twice, third and final call. Well, buyers, I'll place one more vendor bid at 550,000, a mere indication of what will not own the property, but a figure north of there, and then we're starting to talk business. At 550,000, the vendor bid sits with me quickly now. Once, twice, third and final call. Well, buyers, there we are. I think you'd prefer to talk with Di Scott, and I do not blame you for 1 second. Over myself, buyers, what we'll do is we'll pass the property there, form an orderly queue with Di. I know there's several parties that are interested in the property and on a conditional basis. Buyers, now's your opportunity to do so. Thank you very much for your attendance at the Bailey's Auctions today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next lot.